Hi everybody, my guest tonight is a renowned musician slash producer all the way from the UK and currently living in Las Vegas, Nevada and LA. He is creator and producer of a new CD called Jimmy Speaks, the only Jimmy Hendrix interviews which are absolutely rare and absolutely unreleased until now. And of course Jimi Hendrix was part of the British invasion from 1964 to 1967 along with the Beatles. I'd like to introduce MarinoDeSilva. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Great to be here.
Where do we start? I mean, how did you? Let's take it back to the beginning. How did you come up with this CD here?
Well,
Jimi Hendrix.
You got to go right back to the beginning. When I was a kid, when I was 16 years old, and the first time I saw Jimmy play in an old cinema in my hometown of Hull in Yorkshire, and that was what motivated me to play guitar, seeing Jimmy at Woodstock and seeing Carlos Santana.
So you saw Jimmy at Woodstock?
I wasn't there. I
Okay.
was watching it in a little cinema in my hometown of Hull, where they only used to play like porno movies, Swedish porno stuff. And this one rainy afternoon, they happened to have Woodstock on, and so we went in there to watch it, and changed my entire life. So Jimmy was such an influence on me. So to do this, to fast forward, to produce this was fantastic, but I think I always knew that something would happen with Hendrix and myself, other than him just influencing me.
Right.
You know, because I saw Carlos, the same movie, and of course I've worked with Carlos Santana, well, because he's still alive, so we played guitar together and whatnot, and recorded together. So, but that is very special because it was sort of like paths aligned, you know.
And you just knew that was going to happen?
I didn't know that was going to happen, but I knew that somehow, some way, other than, there's a lot of cats out there that play Jimmy's licks and things of that nature. What I like about what I will be associated with Jimi Hendrix for all eternity is producing this CD.
Now tell us about the CD, like how did this transpire? Because this is a great story.
Yeah, well, Stephen Rosen, he's had more covers of the Rolling Stone than any other journalist in rock history, and he was up for signing to Universal Music, and I said to him, wait on 30 seconds, I'm coming into LA, let me chat with you, and not to knock any major labels or whatever, but I explained to him that it could end up on the shelf, and so we signed a deal together, so I have another 25 great other rock stars that are going to be coming out in this series. Jim Morrison and a lot of great stuff.
That's unbelievable. I want to know how did you get that signing? Can you go into that at all?
In what sense? How did I get him to sign?
How did you
I had a gun, and I put it to his head, and I said, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. So, what we did was basically, I just explained to him that we will promote this in the correct way. I love Jimi Hendrix, I love all of the artists that you've interviewed. So we have, and he could feel my energy and enthusiasm, and we formed a company around him called Icons of Rock. And I said to him, we'll get a beautiful website up, and it will be out soon and not just sitting on a shelf somewhere. And he dug it, and he understood after me explaining that. We were at Arnold Schwarzenegger's restaurant at the time, Schatzi, and my friend over there, he even left the bar open so I could finish my spiel.
Yeah.
And thank God he did.
Growing up, who were some of your role models?
In what sense, guitar?
As far as, musician-wise.
Rock and roll.
You grew up in?
Hull, in Yorkshire, Hull, which is...
Hull.
It's
that?
A long way up, and there's no music business there or whatever. And I just... through my dad, I loved Elvis Presley, the King, and of course, that's why I live in Las Vegas. That's what brought me to Vegas. Ever since I was a kid, seeing Elvis at the Hilton Hotel. I had a cigar at the Sterling Club the other week, and I was staring at the big thing that says Barry Manilow, and it used to say Elvis Presley, and I was just looking at that thinking, man, if I hadn't seen that movie, That's the Way It Is with Elvis, I probably wouldn't even be sat here. I have no fascination with Vegas. But so Elvis was, but I'm not a singer. So it was all more about that was just the rock and roll vibe. When I saw Jimi Hendrix, because you get guitar players and they play the guitar and they strum it, but I couldn't really relate to that. when I saw Jimmy bending those notes, and you know, just the emotion and the fire in the playing was just amazing. And also Carlos Santana at Woodstock, Soul Sacrifice. I walked out of that movie theatre, I know what I want to do. Now I could play a few chords, but then I just got into it.
At what age?
I was 15. I was 15, 16.
Said, I'm not going to get a job. I'm going to play guitar. And
no, I was playing professionally within a year. I was playing in a strip joint on the docks, and it was great. You know, drugs coming straight in from Rotterdam, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, straight through my hometown of Hull, the docks, gateway to the rest of England on that side from Europe. So there was a strip joint called Ocean 11, and you know, I was playing Hendrix stuff in there.
Anywhere by where Anne Frank's house is? Anywhere over there?
No, I don't know about that.
No. All right. As far as your future is concerned, around the corner, what's around the corner for MarinoDeSilva?
Well, in 10 minutes I'm going to rip this joint up.
Sounds good.
What the hell? And then I'm going to be working on, I'm putting out, well actually we just put out an album on iTunes, Marino, what the hell's it called? It's Forever Gold.
Gold. Okay.
Forever Gold, which is a compilation of albums that went gold in Europe, and that's just come out on iTunes. And I'm going to be working with the Rolling Stones again.
And where can we find you on your website?
MarinoDeSilva.com.